Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We've all heard this children's rhyme, which aims to persuade a victim of name-calling to ignore the taunt, to refrain from physical retaliation, and to remain calm. However, the reality is that words do hurt, and unfortunately, oftentimes, there are also sticks and stones, i.e. violence, involved. I'm Chrissy B, and welcome to the only TV program out there dedicated to mental health and well-being, the Chrissy B Show. And yes, today we are tackling bullying and how to best deal with it as individuals being bullied and as parents of the bullied. Today we'll be featuring the story of two young survivors, Phoebe Cheng, bullied for being adopted, and Rachel Mitchell, played by an actress, bullied because of her faith. Their story is part of a video called Speak Up, Speak Out, put together by Student Life, and aims to encourage people not to keep bullying to themselves. Also on today's show, we have Dr. Audrey Tang talking about how bullying affects a person mentally and what they can do about it. And Natalia Kotowska is here for this week's dynamic workout. And if you've experienced bullying, it can make the world seem like a very unfriendly place, which is why it's so important to associate yourself with positive people. So we'll be showing you a great activity called Festibowl that some of our Chrissy B Show family took part in. Great for team building, but lots of fun too. We also welcome back Nutritionist Hannah Richards, who'll be making something nutritious and delicious, and Dr Rob Hicks will be answering your holiday-related questions today, including one about what to do if you're a nervous flyer. So let's begin with the story of Phoebe Cheng.
I was bullied for being adopted. The majority of the bullying was in year 4, and obviously being young and naive, I believe most of the comments that were left in my tray. The comments would be like, you're an attention seeker, you're not wanted, are you even loved, and like, you're a liar, which made me feel very insecure about myself. In year 8, that was quite a big low point for me, because that's when I found out the full story about why I was adopted. It made me feel really alone and insecure about myself, and I didn't feel like I belonged because I was different from everyone else. I would have talked to my parents about it, but I just didn't feel like it was right to, and I was scared to. So yeah, and now that being in year 11 and looking back on everything, I don't feel like I'm an attention seeker, and that all the comments I got are just irrelevant. They just make me feel stronger. I am loved because I have an amazing family who love me, and I'm so grateful for that. And I have amazing friends who like me for who I am, and that just really makes me feel more comfortable. And talking to someone does help. So if you have been bullied, then I know it may be hard, but talking to people who you know care about you really helps.
Thank you so much to Phoebe for her story. And now it's time to take a look at another story from Student Life, and that's the one of Rachel Mitchell, played by an actress here.
I remember being bullied throughout my school years, in particular during junior school. I was bullied because I was a Christian. There were certain things, words and TV programs I was not as overly exposed to, which some of my classmates found amusing, and I guess this made me an easy target. I recall a time in year 6 that a couple of swear words were flying around the classroom. I had no idea what they meant. I felt so isolated from what was going on that I found a dictionary and sat under a table searching for the answers. I can't remember if the dictionary shed any light, but I know I was noticed, and this only gave more fuel to the already burning fire. It impacted me in a huge way, causing me to withdraw, experience episodes of depression, and be more cautious about sharing my own thoughts, views and opinions. The bullying in general got so bad, my mum started to volunteer in my class once a week. And for a time I felt safe. I kept with me the memories and the anxiety about letting anyone get close to me. I don't think anyone can ever understand what bullying can do to someone. Harmful words and actions can be used in a moment, but their effects can last a lifetime.
Thank you very much to Rachel and to Student Life for those stories. Well, after the break, Dr. Audrey Tang will be talking about how bullying affects a person mentally and what they can do about it. And she'll also be giving some advice to parents. And also we have Natalia Kotowska for this week's Dynamic Workout. So let's go inside and see what's happening. Everyone has problems, right? Everyone goes through things. But the important thing that we were trying to get across today is that you don't have to stay alone with those problems, right? You can open up and talk about them.
If you don't tell nobody, you're keeping it inside and you're making yourself more worried.
Absolutely fantastic dancing and stomping out those emotions.
Yeah, that was fun. I've been practicing in PE lessons for the warm-up, so they've been showing me some good dance moves.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody, and we are tackling the topic of bullying today, and we have on our resident psychologist, Dr. Audrey Tang, with us now. Hi, Audrey.
Hello, thanks for having me, Chrissy.
It's lovely to have you back on. So, Audrey, what does bullying do to a person mentally, first of all?
Bullying's a really tough subject, and the first thing we need to remember is that no matter what your perception of bullying is, if somebody raises a complaint of bullying, it needs to be treated as such, because bullying is defined as the person who is experiencing it is perceiving it. And one of the biggest problems is if somebody has the courage to raise that they're being bullied and the immediate response is, oh, sort it out, or are you sure, or is it just banter, that in itself can be a slap in the face to someone. So we've got to be really careful when how we're dealing with it. This little example is something that I think I have used on the show before. It's something I use in my training sessions. It's quite an old example, but it's very simply what bullying does to us is if you were to fold the piece of paper for every time someone said something that's affected us in terms of mental health and in terms of making us feel bad about ourselves, even if it's, say, only a few times, and then you smooth it out, you apologise to it, you try and make it go away, those scars remain. And that's the problem of bullying. Not only could it teach people that this is the way to deal with problems and they might start behaving in a similar way, mirroring that bullying behaviour, but it might make them very self-conscious about certain things that they didn't need to be self-conscious about. And also it might make them come up with strategies for behaviour, such as avoidance of conflict. Because if that person has been taught or told to just avoid the bully, that could go with them till later life, and it will be a case of, oh, conflict, I just must avoid it. And you never learn to manage those emotions. So bullying's scars are much deeper than just feeling bad about ourselves.
And if you are an individual that's being bullied, whether a young person or an adult, what would you say would be the best thing to do? Definitely
Raise the subject. I mean, having an open discussion, open conversation about it's really important too, because sometimes it's a case of we may not even recognise the signs, especially if we're a forgiving person and we're just, oh, they're in a bad mood, oh, it'll be okay. Bullying will be something that will just chip and chip and chip away at you. And so if other people start telling you, hang on a minute, I think that person might be bullying you, do think about what they're saying. Do listen to them. And it might be a case of, well, maybe they aren't, and maybe it's been misread as a situation, but just be aware. If you are being bullied, report it. If you don't have somebody who will validate your concerns, then maybe keep a diary of the events that are going on, what's happening, also how it's made you feel, because then you can reflect on it. But if you have that catalogue, then when you do find someone who is willing to listen and treat it with the seriousness it deserves to be treated, then at least you can also show this record to them. And also you've got that proof that you're not making it up, that you're not just imagining all of this. And that's what bullies can do. Oh no, I wasn't doing that. You're just imagining
Such a
things.
good idea that is. Now, a bit of advice for the parents of the bullied. How can parents, first of all, recognise the signs if their child is being bullied?
Sometimes children can become very withdrawn. They may not want to participate in certain classes or certain activities because that could be where it's all going on. Maybe they are angrier than usual. Maybe they're responding in a way that is unusual for them. So a child who's usually quite friendly and happy might be sad or even aggressive or angry. And it might be just because they may not realise what's happening and have no way of really expressing it. Or they might just be too scared to say something. And that's where I come back to, if you're a parent, we always tell the children in schools, and we tell teachers to tell children, talk about it, bring this up. But then if that child finally does it and they are dismissed, that's a horrible thing to happen. So the signs and symptoms are usually just changes in behaviour, usually avoidance, sometimes being quite withdrawn, maybe not wanting to go out with friends, or a change in friendship groups that used to be really close and then suddenly they don't see them anymore. That could be an indication.
Actually, when I was a child, I can't remember exactly how old I was being bullied at school. I started wetting the bed. And I wasn't a toddler. I was like, I shouldn't have been wetting the bed at that age. But even when the doctor, I can't remember if it was a psychologist or a doctor that asked me, "Are you being bullied?" I said no, and I didn't feel like I could sort of talk about it. And in my head, it was like, why am I not saying it? I didn't even understand myself.
But I think that's really important to bring up as well, because often if that's happening, that child may start covering it up as well, because they're more embarrassed about wetting the bed than they are even talking about the bullying or what's going on. The whole problem with bullying is it eats away at our self-esteem, and we start feeling as if this is somehow our fault. We brought this on ourselves. There's something defective about us. And of course, that's not the case at all. Therefore, it's important to say something. If you're trying to support the child as well, yes, keeping the diary can help. Listen, first of all, without judgment and sometimes without anger. Because if you're a parent who perhaps you've been through bullying yourself, when that child is explaining how hurt they feel and how sad they feel, you cannot help but empathise in that way. But it's really important to keep your emotions in check and listen openly. Discuss with the child what the next steps could be. Don't run straight to the school and say something, and certainly don't turn up unannounced, because that can actually cause more problems for the child, and that can embarrass the child too. So discuss what's going to happen. If you have left it in the hands of the school, do give the school time to work through their policies. Don't be checking on them every single hour or every single day. But it is worth arranging a date to check back with the school just to make sure things are progressing. And if you're not happy, again, just keep that diary. Whether you involve the other parents, whether there's an investigation in that particular way, perhaps it's up to you, the child, and the school to decide. The other thing that's important in general, whether it's a school investigating, whether it's parents, or whether it's the place of work, is that sometimes it might be that the investigation turns out that perhaps it is banter, perhaps it wasn't meant in that particular way. Well then, training, having an open discussion, making people aware of what is bullying, and it might even be just telling people if somebody feels upset because that's been said or done. Don't do it, yes, quite simple. But people don't behave in those ways generally because it's personal. It's often because someone's acting out in some way, or because it's aimed at you specifically. Chances are they probably do that to other people as well. I'm not saying we have to understand or forgive just yet, but what I am saying is try yourself not to take it personally.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how you can start building up your resilience, your self-esteem, self-worth, engage in other hobbies, other activities, spend time with people who are good for your mental health.
Thank you very much, Audrey, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so now it's time for our workout of the week with Natalia Kotowska.
Hey guys, it's me, your fitness expert, Natalia Kotowska, and Kate Do It With Nat. And again, I have my lovely assistant today with me, Carlos, and we're gonna do another circuit workout for you today. So again, 3 exercises, high intensity exercises. Let me show you the first one. The first one is called the burpees. So you wanna drop your chest all the way down to the floor, jump high up. So don't mistake it with a push-up. You wanna drop that chest. So all the way down to your chest. Bring it all the way up, high up. You can raise your hands up or you can just leave them with your body. So again, drop your chest all the way up. Second one, we're gonna go for fast feet. So if you ever seen American football, that's what I want you to picture it. So you go nice and low, hold your hands up, arch your booty, and you're gonna go fast feet in a spot. So from the side position, you hit as fast as you can. Yeah, we're gonna go for 10 seconds or 10 cuts. And the last one, hard one too, air squat with the jump, tapping your feet in the air. So let me show it to you. All the way down, tap, land. All the way up, land. Open your chest, sit, breathe, hop, hop. So Carlos, we're gonna go for 10 each again. 10 burpees, 10 fast feet, 10 air squats. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
He's ready. You better be ready too. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1. That's right, all the way up. Hop. 2. Drop that chest. That's right. Let's go. 3. Come on, come on, come on. Faster than that. 4. Let's go. That's right. 5 more. Let's go, let's go. Drop that chest all the way up. 6. Let's go, let's go. 7. That's right. 8. Drop that chest. 9. Come on, come on, come on, come on. And last one, 10 points. Let's go. All the way down, all the way down. Last one. 10. Right away. Fast feet, fast feet. Let's go, Carlos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 air squats with a tap. 1. Let's go. 2. That's right. 3. It's okay to struggle. It's not okay to quit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Good job. Good job. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Again, set yourself as targets. So maybe 2 minutes long or 3 minutes long. AMRAP, as many rounds as possible. And do it in a cycle. 3 exercises, 10 each, 3 minutes long. That's the challenge, guys. So let's see how you can do it with that. How are you feeling, Carlos?
Tired.
Tired.
But
Out
good.
of breath. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Carlos, for being here and working out with
It's
us.
a pleasure.
See you next time.
Thank you very much to Natalia and to Carlos there. So after the break, we'll also be showing you a great team building activity that some of our resident guests took part in called Festibowl. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and well-being, The Chrissy B Show, which airs on MyTV Sky 191 every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Follow our social media on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy B Show and our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. For more information, visit chrissybshow.tv. put the dance together because the dance actually shows the fight against depression. So as you know, you've got some punching moves in there, you've got that you know, throwing out anything that's negative. So when you're actually doing the dance, just remember that the reason behind it is like you saying, I don't accept to be put down by any kind of problem, and I'm going to fight back.
We think it's a really, really important thing for them to be aware of being mentally and emotionally well as succeeding with their academic success. So when we heard about this dance, we just thought it was amazing.
We like to encourage students to open up if they are going through any problem and let them know that it's okay to talk, that it's okay if you're going through a problem, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Waving the flags, I think it's like saying to your worries, go away and don't come back. I found the dance, I thought everybody enjoyed it because it could represent our big and small feelings.
Stop, stop, stop! Stop, 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 step back and point and wave! Step and crush! Step and crush! Step and crush!
Do you think this challenge is so important?
I think it's very important because it's a very interactive way for young people to take part and know the stigma around mental health and actually make a change.
It was really energetic and everyone took part in it and really got in there.
I think it's more important because of the actual mental health, not like going on the telly, like the mental health part, because it's quite important. Like if you just ignore it, then a lot of bad things could happen.
I think it's really important in our school we do take it seriously. Our children are really young, but obviously we want to talk to them about feelings and to recognise the different feelings that they have.
Are you ready? Yeah! Are you sure? Yeah!
Let's go! And turn! 2, 1, 2, 3, get up!
Great pleasure to present you with our official Chrissy B Show participative certificate.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody, and we are the UK's only programme that's dedicated to your mental health and well-being. So if you've experienced bullying, it can make the world seem like a very dark and unfriendly place. However, there are always lovely people close by, and it's so important to associate yourself with positive people. So here's a great activity called Festibowl that some of the Chrissy B Show family took part in, which is great for team building and having fun too. Hi everybody, today I'm at Festibowl ready to do some outdoor bowling. As you can see, we're in a lovely location. We've got Tower Bridge just behind us there. Lovely day as well, and we've also invited some of our resident guests on the programme to take part. As we know, it's great to do new activities, it's great to come outdoors, great for your mental health and well-being, and of course being around positive people is really important. So we are going to be having a few games today. Let's see which team wins. I'm looking forward to it. That wasn't bad. So everybody has arrived. Hi everyone. Hey! They're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Audrey's going to be telling us why it's so important to do things like this, Audrey.
Well, we know at the moment there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of pressures on us. It's a difficult world to live in, but the best way of coping is building resilience, and one method is having a bank of positive experiences you can draw from. Whether it is getting out in the open air, hanging out with great people, having fun, learning something new, all of those are something that we can think about and smile.
Wonderful. So who has actually done bowling before?
A little bit.
You have, yeah?
A little bit.
You good?
I'm going to pretend to be.
Pretend to be good, okay. Well, the rest of us haven't. Maybe you can teach us a few moves, Joe. So we're going to get started.
Hi guys. Hi. Welcome to Festibowl. One of the best events in London, obviously. Okay, has anyone played before? Ah, right, so you get the idea. So, aim of the game, okay, to get your bowl as close to the white ball, which is called the jack, as close as you can, okay? Once both teams have bowled all their bowls, whoever's closest to the jack at the end gets 1 point for their team. Okay, so divide into 2 teams. You have 2 coloured bowls, 1 colour for each team. And you go alternate in your teams, different colours. Then, like I say, whoever's closest at the end gets a point. So this is a bowl, okay, so it's designed so it's weighted on one side. So the little circle denotes the weighted side. So when you roll it down this running surface, if I roll it that way, it will bend from left to right. And if I turn it the other way, it'll bend from right to left, okay? Okay, so it's all about judging how hard to roll it and what angle to bowl it at to get back to the middle of the rink and near the jack. And that's basically how it works. So if you divide yourselves into 2 teams.
So everyone, our team is called the Winners. Woo! And we are the Cool Cats. Yay!
Yeah.
We cannot let them beat us.
And then we're going to be even, and then after that, it's like nothing stops us.
We should have come one of those. Quick,
yeah.
does anyone is it 3? The Winners!
Go on, go on, go on. Oh, stop, stop. Ah.
Oh! Oh! Oh, it's the closest one! Now I'm here with Will Goy, who is the founder of this lovely activity Festibowl. Hi, Will.
Hi, how are you? You okay?
I'm having lots of fun. Yeah. Tell us how you came up with this.
Well, it's about time that the summer party outdoor vibe is celebrated in London. There are so many amazing spaces, and lawn bowls needs to be recognised in a much more accessible way for everyone. So here we are doing something very different in one of the best and most iconic locations in London.
So, Will, how long has this actually been going on?
So we've been doing this for 3 years as Festibowl, so this is our 3rd year. We've been growing it at our home in Finsbury Square, just over the river, for the last couple of years. And this year we are growing to Pottersfields Park and over to Canary Wharf later on in the year. So we're trying to reach a new market, a different sort of market, a younger demographic around London Bridge, and all we want to do is get more and more people bowling.
And why are activities like this so important?
To be outside and to get away from the stresses and strains of life on what is a recreated bowling green in such an iconic space is just, you can be at one. There's no worries. There's no one judging. This is about having fun and looking after yourself in a wonderful space.
So here we are at Festibowl, and we're just about to sample some lovely food at Mama's Jerk. And Anna is vegetarian. I am. I am not, so we're both going to sample different foods. Who's this special Mama Jerk?
Mama Jerk is my great-grandmother from Jamaica, and what she's done, she specialised this jerk seasoning recipe many, many years ago, and what she's done over the years is handed it down generation to generation to generation.
So I've got a jerk vegan pancake, and I'm just going to try some now. Or even a bean cake, and I can taste the beans. Really, really nice.
Okay, so I've got jerk chicken here, jerk chicken wrap, which smells absolutely delicious.
Would you like me to hold the mic while you try some?
Yeah, you could.
Why not?
I will give it a whirl. I'll give it a whirl. There's so much chicken in here. Can you see all the colours of salad, which is super, super.
Right, I'm going to put some jerk on this. So can you taste the secret recipe?
That is absolutely delicious.
Oh, is it?
Guys, this is really super. I absolutely recommend Mama's Jerk.
What are you going to go for?
Ooh,
I have to admit, I like a good piece of beef, you know, sort of rare.
Beef?
Yeah, I'm in for that. Yeah, I'm a bit of a barbecue girl.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, I'll try a little bit of lamb. Just a little bit of lamb, but you know, I'm going where you go.
Let's do it.
So while you're going through that, tell us what you're sprinkling and what's happening exactly.
So basically, we roast it bone side down.
Yeah.
And then, I'm basically slicing it just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. And this is just rock salt just to season it well.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing too fancy. It's obviously the bone marrow's got really deep umami flavours.
Right.
So when you're dipping it in the chips and you're eating it with the meat, it kind of just enhances all the flavours basically.
Yeah.
It's not much lamb. Yeah.
That is really
gorgeous.
Nice.
You get all the juices, all the flavours, and it goes very well with whatever that secret ingredient is. It's brilliant, really delicious.
So guys, did you have a good time? Yes! Okay, so who would like to tell me about what they thought of the activity? Anybody? Go on.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I was very bad at first, but it's great because it was easy to learn, and we all got quite competitive, didn't we? It was so much fun.
And we learn from each other as well, because we watch each other, and then we think, right, okay, let's do it like that because they're doing it like that, and then you get better, and it's brilliant to see yourself achieve.
So I was just actually speaking to Will, and he was saying that people have this kind of misconception that bowling is for like older people, and but it's not so, is it? It's fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And I needed it as well because I've had such a stressful weekend, having a show and all the rest of it, so it was a bit of downtime for me. So I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great fun.
Let's speak to the man of the bunch.
Well, I thought it was brilliant. It released the stress. I agree with that as well. And you know what? It's a teamwork thing.
We love the teamwork.
Chrissy B! Woo! So thank you very much to Festibowl for a great afternoon. After the break, we'll welcome back nutritionist Hannah Richards, who'll be making something nutritious and delicious, and Dr Rob Hicks will be answering your medical questions, including this one. I'm going to be taking my first holiday abroad soon, and I'm really nervous about flying. What can I do to help my nerves? Find out the answer after this break. The MHD Challenge Tour continues. Keep on fighting depression, yeah?
A lot of young people do struggle with mental illness, and it really does help to talk about it.
I think all the children love the little crush and the little stamp.
Really understanding that the feelings are associated with the movements as well that we've been practicing today.
My favourite part of the dance is when we the stepping and crushing. I'm going to recommend this to all my friends and make them do it.
Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody, and now it's time to get your medical questions answered with Dr Rob Hicks. Welcome back to the show, Rob.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Very well. Glad to see you here.
I'm always glad to be here. This is my TV family, isn't it?
It is definitely. Yeah. So, Rob, we have some questions for you. Ready? Okay, so the first one is, I'm going to be taking my first holiday abroad soon and I'm really nervous about flying. What can I do to help my nerves? Is there anything I can take?
Well, there are some things that can be taken, but there's an awful lot you can do that doesn't involve, pills and tablets and the like. I think the first thing to remember that actually aerophobia, which is what the fear of flying is called medically, is actually very common. It's estimated that around about 1 in 10 people experience this, and some people are frightened that actually they're going to not be able to control their emotions during the flight, and they're going to embarrass themselves, amongst the other passengers. Other people are just simply worried about external factors, like weather, turbulence, and faults with the plane. A couple of things that you can do is actually, when you're on the flight, speak to the flight attendants and let them know that you are anxious about flying, so that they can reassure you about the sort of sounds you may be hearing, but also reassure you about the activities that they're involved with, so that you know that they're the routine things rather than anything related to an emergency. Then the sort of things to think about doing in visualization, meditation, distraction, simply by watching movies, talking to other passengers, reading a book, for example, or doing relaxation exercises. Those sort of things actually can be really, really very effective. Then the other thing is many of the airlines now run courses because they recognise that a lot of their passengers have a fear of flying. So you can attend that sort of course, that you get in touch with your airline.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the major airlines do that. They take it very, very seriously. And of course, there's cognitive behavioural therapy, CBT, as well, where through a professionally trained therapist, you may be taken through what's called desensitization exposure therapy. So you're gradually exposed to things related to flying, in your case, so that you learn to overcome that fear and actually take control rather than the fear control you. Now, you asked about what you can take. I mean, I'm a great fan of chamomile tea because it's very relaxing. There are over-the-counter products that you can get that may contain valerian or hops, for example, and your doctor actually can prescribe prescription medication. So it might be a low dose of antidepressants, it might be a low dose of a tranquilizer, or it might be something called beta blockers, which basically calm things down. So it's good that you've asked a question. Think in advance, think about what's going to work for you, and then sit back and enjoy your holiday.
Lovely. And another holiday-related question, Rob. Is there a way that I can safely delay my period for a couple of weeks? I'm going on holiday and want to make the most of the sea and swimming.
Yeah, this is a good question, quite a common question that we face in medicine, because obviously, Mother Nature sometimes gets in the way. It spoils a holiday. Yeah, absolutely. And actually worrying about it sometimes brings on a period, out of sequence.
Does it?
Yes,
wow.
yes. So which doesn't help matters.
Yeah.
It is possible. It's not always guaranteed that you can delay a period, but it is possible. So, for example, if you're a woman who's taking the combined oral contraceptive pill, that's the one that's got 2 hormones in it, then you can take this back to back. So you skip out the break, and that will delay the period. Now, it is important that you talk to your GP or your practice nurse or the family planning doctor or nurse about how to do this with your specific pill, because they do vary. So how you might do it back to back may vary as well. If you're somebody who's taking the progesterone-only pill, that's often called the mini pill, then taking that back to back isn't going to delay a period. And your options there are to, for a short period of time, switch to the combined 2-hormone pill, or indeed use a medication like norethistérone. This is a hormone that can be taken 3 times a day, usually started 3 or 4 days before the period is due, and continued until you're back off holiday. And then when you stop taking it, a period normally comes a couple of days later. If you're somebody who's not using any contraception at all, then your doctor or nurse may suggest that you start using the combined oral contraceptive pill, which you can then run 2 packets back to back to delay a period, or they may offer you norethistérone. So my advice to you is to have a chat with your doctor, practice nurse, family planning doctor, or family planning nurse about what's the most appropriate way for you. But yes, have a discussion, because it is possible to delay a period. So again, you can sit back and enjoy your holiday and any swimming that you take part in.
Lovely, Rob. Thank you so much, and we shall see you again next time.
My pleasure. Yes, you will.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. So now it's time for a lovely recipe with Hannah Richards. Welcome to the show, Hannah.
Hi.
Tell us about this cycling you just did.
I just cycled 300 miles across Croatia.
What for?
For the Felix Project. Do you remember?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yes. That's
all about
brilliant.
Food wastage.
Amazing.
It was an incredible experience.
And how do you feel physically?
You know what? I mean, I hate to say I took it in my stride, but no, it was really hard work. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm fine now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Thank
and
you
now
very
you're
much.
going to be helping us with some nutrition tips.
I certainly am. So I thought today, because the sun is out and we're all barbecuing and inviting people over, and typically we go to the corner shop, don't we, or Sainsbury's, and we buy a little pot of hummus and a salsa and a guacamole, and then we have all this plastic, and then we throw it out and blah, blah, blah. So I thought I'd show you how to make your own spicy salsa.
Lovely. Let's go.
Okay, so if you could peel a garlic for me.
I get the smelly task, do I?
Yeah.
Thank you. How many cloves would you like?
Let's have 2.
2 cloves of garlic.
So this is a heritage tomato. Now the great thing about tomatoes is they have this compound in them called lipocene. And lipocene actually protects your skin from the sun.
Can you say that again? Okay, lipocene protects your skin. I wasn't listening,
From the sun.
I was concentrating on my garlic.
So when the sun comes out, you just want to eat loads and loads of tomatoes.
Oh, very good.
So tomatoes are the base of all salsas, and these are heritage tomatoes. So you just want to chop them, give them a good old rough chop, because they're the base of all salsas.
Okay.
And if you go to your greengrocer or you go to your supermarket, just buy maybe 2 or 3 different types of tomatoes.
They've got different properties.
Not necessarily, but different flavours. Like ones on the vine
Yeah.
really, you can smell them, can't you?
I love those.
So if you want to impress your guests, then you want to get the ones on the vine.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a hands-on recipe. So Chrissy, if you can put the garlics in the crusher.
What?
And crush those 2 garlics in there for me. Brilliant.
It's quite a good crusher, this is.
Yeah, it is actually.
There you go.
There we go. Now you can, it depends whether you like. Some people can't tolerate garlic, so just, you could use 1. And then I'm just going to keep mushing this. So all I need you to do is just really sort of pressing it down, getting it as soft as possible. Then I'm going to use a red onion. Red onions are just a little bit more colourful than using your bog standard white onion. And the more colourful a dish is, the more nutrients and minerals and vitamins you're gonna have as well. So we're gonna use half a red onion here. So just peel the outer layer off.
Red onions, I love those. I use those mostly actually in my cooking.
I mean, I think most cooking just starts with some good old fry a red onion off, and you've got a recipe already. Recipe for success. So when you're doing your red onion, guys, just make sure that it is really thin, because you don't want big chunks. There's nothing worse than a salsa with big chunks of bits in it, is there? And the great thing is about these recipes is that once you've done it once, you can it's then in your repertoire. You can just keep doing it again and again. And I think sometimes we get a little bit scared of making things that we usually buy, but they're the easiest things.
I've actually started doing that myself lately. I'm starting to make my own. I made my own ketchup the other day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's very good.
What else did I make recently? Coconut bread. Because I'm doing keto at the moment, so I'm experimenting with different things. I'm making my own almond milk from your recipe, actually.
Isn't almond milk the easiest thing in the world to make?
It's so simple and it just tastes so nice, and
so
I know
much better.
what's in it.
Do you put a little bit of vanilla pod in it?
You know what, I do remember you doing that, but it's just straight almonds with me.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, because I put it in my tea and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm going to make my own peanut butter, or almond butter as well.
Oh, lovely.
That's my next thing.
Great, so then you're just going to just add in, this is half a red onion. Give it a little bit of zing. There we go. And I'm just going to reach across you and get these. So these are your cherry tomatoes. And we're just going to add a couple of them in as well. Those big heritage tomatoes, sometimes you can see them in the shops and they're green, if not even got a sort of a black look to them as well. So the great thing about cherry tomatoes is they're so vibrant and red. And the brighter the vegetable, the more antioxidants there are as well.
Interesting.
So always make sure you've got the colours of the rainbow on your plate.
Lovely.
So we're just going to put 2 of these in. Now, how are you with chilli, Chrissy?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I've got...
Thanks to my hubby, that is, because he introduced me to... Well, my dad used to eat, just Scotch bonnet peppers on their own, on the side of any food.
Yeah.
But I never really liked it. But then my hubby got me into it.
There we go, there's that cherry tomato. Keep mushing that, really pressing it down, mush it down.
Not doing my job properly, am I?
Come on, get some elbow grease in there.
Okay.
So then we've got these guys, which are jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
So if
are they hotter than Scotch bonnet? Or are they? Because Scotch bonnet are really fiery.
Good question, I don't know.
If any of our viewers know, you can contact us on info@chrissybeshow.tv
and we're just going to do the chili test.
Go away.
Okay. So we're just going to do a few of these, and actually we can just put some on the side as well for a little bit of decoration. So we'll just top a few of these up. Oh, I can smell them now.
Yeah.
And I always keep the pips in as well, especially if there's not too many.
It's where the heat is, right?
Because that's where the heat is, yeah. Okay, ready?
So you're going for like a mushy consistency.
Mushy consistency, yeah. And then just put that jalapeno in there. We'll keep it a bit light.
Okay.
The great thing is, you've got to make sure you keep it light, because then if you overpower it, you're then making loads and loads and loads of tomatoes to try and underpower it again.
Okay.
So start slow and build up. So I'm going to spice it with this spice, which is chaat masala. And this is a great Indian spice that you can use in cooking as well. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit in. There we go. Stir away.
What spices are actually in there? Do you know?
There'll be a combination of curry powder, of cumin, masala.
Yeah.
And then chaat masala is a mix. So when you get the sort of the tomato and spinach based Indian dishes on the side, then it's all full of chaat masala. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we've
mushy
got
enough for you?
Mushy enough. So we've got our garlic, we've got our red onion, our jalapeno. You could if you wanted to just put some ginger and some turmeric on the top, but we'll leave it there.
We'll do it.
Okay, so now normally you would then give your guests a whole load. Let's get these out of the way. These over the way. Sorry. Of Doritos maybe, or crisps, and actually we're just going to use some cucumber. So
much healthier option.
There we go. So there's your cucumber.
Thank you.
And dip away. This is keto.
Keto, yes.
Because it's really low carb. All vegetables are low carb, which is great. So dip it on, and you could use a carrot or a red pepper or something like that, and you've got a homemade dip to impress your guests.
It's actually quite spicy.
Very
nice.
Yeah?
Thank you. Not as hot as Scotch bonnet, in my opinion.
Ooh.
There, we've done the test.
Those jalapenos have got some kick there.
Very nice. Thank you, Hannah.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you again next time.
Hope so.
All right, guys, so now it's time for my final thoughts of the day. Thank you very much to all my guests on today's program, and I hope you found the tips that we've also offered you very useful. So today I would like to share a true story with you. Now this has to do with my sister who, when she was in junior school, she started to be bullied by this boy. Now this boy wasn't average, he was really tall for some reason. I don't know what his mum was feeding him, but he was very tall. He was the tallest kid in the year, and also very built. And for some reason, I don't know why he decided to pick on my sister. He was bullying her. I can't remember if he was violent towards her, but I think there might have been also been, a bit of physical stuff as well. And my sister didn't tell my dad, because if she had, my dad would have been straight down there and pinned him up against the wall, which is something that happened a few years later when she was being bullied by someone else. So anyway, she didn't tell my father, but she did tell my gran. Now my gran was a very small granny. She was really, really short, very petite. And she decided to go down to the school and sort this bully out. And I was really scared. I knew she was going to come to school with us and confront this bully. I was so nervous. I thought, this kid is going to beat my gran up. She's so tiny compared to him. She's so small. He's so big. What's he going to do to her? So then I watched my tiny little grandmother walking up to him, marching up to him, and she tapped him on the, she couldn't even reach his shoulder, but she tapped him, and he turned around, and I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? And she pulled out a box of chocolates from her handbag, and she gave these chocolates to him. And I was shocked. I thought, what is she doing? Why is she giving this guy chocolates? He's bullying my sister. And she gave him these chocolates. If you'd seen his expression, he was like amazed. It was like no one had ever done anything like that for him. And do you know, from that day, he never ever bothered my sister again. Every time he would see my gran, he would say hello to her, he would smile at her, and he never ever touched my sister again. And for me, I was a child when this happened, and it was such a huge lesson to me, because thinking back now, I don't know what was going on in that kid's life. I don't know what was happening. He used to taunt people, especially my sister. Everyone was scared of him. But I saw him literally melt when he was given this gift. And you can imagine, this is a family member of someone that you're bullying, and instead of having a go or pinning you up against the wall like some people would do, she gave him a gift. She gave him a present, and to see his reaction and to see how he changed afterwards was absolutely amazing. And that image, that story has stuck with me for so many years, and I will never ever forget it, because that was such an example to me. Now, I'm not saying that if you are being bullied that you go up to your bully and you give them a box of chocolates, okay? Of course, it's not going to work for everyone. I'm talking about children here. But it's just to kind of make us think that maybe there's a lot more to what's going on. There's a lot more about why people bully in the first place. Maybe they've never had a kind word from their parents. Maybe they've always been kind of ignored or sidelined, and they've never been given a gift. Maybe they've never been told that you know, I love you. So there are so many elements to this, and I think it's so important for us to kind of look at everything, the whole picture, instead of just judging a bully, for example, for doing what they do. There's so much more to what's going on, to the situation itself. Well, everyone, I hope you've also had a lesson from that little story that I shared with you. And if you have a story that you would like to share, please do get in touch with us by emailing info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet or Instagram us @Chrissy B Show, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about me and my mental health journey, all you need to do is visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, bye-bye for now.